case in mind, Honorable Speaker, and you have seen it in the news, of some land next to Windsor in Kiambu County, or on the border of Kiambu and Nairobi. A small group of people changed ownership of a company of very old men who bought land many, many years ago, decades ago. They corruptly changed the ownership of the company, influenced people at the land's office, changed title, and transferred those titles to other people. And Honorable Speaker, let me say, because these are matters under investigation, I hear there is a senior police officer in Nairobi who purports to be having breakfast with the deputy president and dinner with the president, and forces police officers to guard stolen land. Let me tell that officer, whether you dine with the president, whether you have breakfast with the deputy president, whether you have lunch with the leader of majority, you shall have no opportunity to steal land from the people of Kenya on account of the office you hold, because you can commandeer officers with guns. This is the injustice, Honorable Speaker, that is being meted out on the people of Kenya over their land, because we do not have this provision in law where the National Lands Commission, those who feel treated unfairly, can run to and have titles revoked. Honorable Speaker, you'll be shocked, that particular case around Windsor, none other than the Principal Secretary in charge of lands cancelled the particular titles and instigated the cancellation of those titles. But because there were policemen and senior police officers involved, they now use their powers in the police to guard goons taking charge of a private land. You saw, Honorable Speaker, the other day, none other than the Minister of Lands herself, C.S. Alice Wahome, being locked out of her property in Loresho. Goons. Why? Because they are policemen who think that they are a power unto themselves. Honorable Speaker, because that particular officer knows himself, let me tell him from the floor of this House, there shall not be an inch of land grabbed in Nairobi or Nairobi's environs on account of you claiming to dine and wine with who is who.
Sorry to interrupt.
Public land will remain public land. What is private land will remain as private land. I hope Honorable Opio doesn't have land that is grabbed.
Opio Wandai?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, you know for sure, Wandai and land grabbing can't be in one sentence, for sure. But having said that, what Honorable Leader of Majority is saying is very serious, extremely serious. Is it possible, Honorable Speaker, that you could perhaps persuade him or compel him to name this officer? Because I don't think this House can continue to operate in generalities. That officer needs to be named. And if it's not nameable, we need to know who is the force behind him. Because I don't think there can be an officer in the National Police Service who can have power or authority over and above that of the leader of majority.
What is out of order?
So can you compel him to name that police officer who is guarding stolen property in around Windsor Hotel? Thank you.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Maybe just to quickly respond to the Leader of Minority. There are people who have more powers than me because I cannot command a police officer. But there are officers who have powers to command those officers serving below them. And that is what I'm speaking. And Honorable Speaker, if the Leader of Minority was keen to listen to what I said it is a matter under investigation, and I therefore do not want to jeopardize the investigations by naming people.
Majority Leader, I would like also to add that you did not state any name.
Yes, I did not state anybody's name.
Not state any name, so
I said a senior police officer. And I will repeat, it is a senior police officer who has the capacity and ability to command other officers. That tells you it is from the rank of a sergeant, an officer commanding a police station, an OCPD, a county commander, a regional commander, a deputy IG, or an IG himself, but I did not name anybody, and I am not at liberty at this stage, not to jeopardize investigations. But once the investigations are completed, I know the owners of that land are preparing a petition to this House. We shall name names, because this administration under William Ruto is not to condone the theft of public land by whoever you think you are, whether you are a police officer, whether you are a chief. Only yesterday, Honorable Speaker, I had to intervene in my constituency where an assistant chief had grabbed land belonging to 130 squatters and subdivided it among us 7 members, Honorable Speaker. And I must thank the area DCC for also quickly intervening to ensure that the people of Ruanyaga get back their rightful share. Honorable Speaker, I was saying once we restore these powers under Section 14 and 15 of the NLC Act back to NLC, NLC will also use this to safeguard a lot of public land in many counties, Honorable Speaker, and I'll give you the case example of Kiambaa constituency in Kiambu. You will not find a single piece, even half an acre of public land to do the affordable housing agenda. This is the opportunity that the government of Kenya has to actualize the affordable housing agenda by ensuring that we have public land that was grabbed being restored back to the public. Honorable Speaker, you have seen many people across the country crying foul when the national government moved to repossess land. The Ministry of Housing need not to be fighting with anybody. They will just be giving the issues of land that was grabbed, that was public land, to NLC. NLC will now have powers to revoke those titles and evict those who are occupying public land, and then we can develop the affordable housing projects on public land, Honorable Speaker. And that is the case in many of our urban centers, Honorable Speaker, not just in Nairobi, but in other areas. Honorable Speaker, before the leader of minority rose on a point of order, I was saying you saw in Loresho the other day, the minister for the CS for lands being stopped by a group of goons from accessing land where she was going to help somebody whose land also as a private citizen was being grabbed. Honorable Speaker, it is not by accident that all these things touch on the police,